So there are 4 key mistakes that we've seen a lot of entrepreneurs make when it comes to hiring. The first one is hiring people who have impeccable credentials coming from very large corporate organizations to come into a small company and to try and build them up. Why has this mistake been prevalent? A lot of entrepreneurs tend to think that when you hire somebody who comes from one of the best companies in town and you give them a big fat salary to be able to take your company to the next level, that they'll be able to fit in and fix all the mistakes. What we don't realize is that a lot of people who've worked in very large organizations may be good at working with systems, but may not be very good at setting them up. So you need somebody who would be flexible enough to know that they're coming into a place where they will be the ones who have to set up the systems rather than work with already established systems. The second mistake we've seen a lot of entrepreneurs make is where they try and create a job description that fits into a person rather than getting the person that they need for a particular role. Now, how does this happen? Many times you've hired people, they're already on board. Maybe what you hired them for, they're not a perfect fit for that role. So you start looking for another role that fits into the strengths of that individual. And that may not necessarily work because your company may not be ready for that role that you're trying to fit them into. And also you could be denying the company the opportunity to find the right person for a specific role that you have carved out. The third mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is to hire too many people too quickly. And why a lot of people do this is because they're usually anticipating business to grow, or they're anticipating to sign a contract, or somebody has told them they'll give them some big business somewhere. So they quickly run and get a lot of people on board. Maybe they get a contract and execute it. And then when it's done, they realize that they're left with very few people, very little work for the many people that they have on board. Therefore, it's important to keep gauging what are your requirements in terms of hiring. Is the role that you're hiring for something that's going to be permanent, or is it something temporary? So do not be in a hurry to hire as an entrepreneur. Look at your requirements very carefully. Hire 1 or 2 people at a time. And as you do that, then you'll be able to grow into what the organization needs rather than getting too many people on board, increasing your costs, and then now you're forced to start looking for work to keep people busy. So the other challenge that has come up for entrepreneurs frequently when it comes to hiring and dealing with people is that they take too long to resolve issues within the company. And it's understandable why, because dealing with people is a very emotional issue. But many times, entrepreneurs will identify a problem in an employee, but will take a lot of time thinking about it and just going through the motions before finally dealing with the employee. It could be an employee who's not performing at their job. It could be that their role is not necessary anymore. It could be a variety of reasons. But either way, we take too long as entrepreneurs to deal with the issue. So we have something that we usually advise our people to do, that take a very long time to hire the right person, but whenever you identify a problem, you should fire quickly. So in conclusion, while finding the right people might sound like rocket science, it really is not. As an entrepreneur, you simply need to not lose sight about where it is you're headed as a company and who you really are. Once you've defined all these things as an organization, it will become easier for you to define the kind of roles you need to have on board. It will become easier for you to define the kind of people who you need to bring on board. And then finally, you'll be able to go through a process where you can attract the right people to your company. And when you see them, you will know that they are a right fit.